Joel, front right.
Joel Lorenzi with the Oklahoma. Dub, I just wonder, Mark was talking about stretches during the season where you were trying to establish this sort of force, and he said there were ugly games and ugly plays. What do you remember from those times and what they meant for you to have as much force as you play with tonight?
In order to get better and be good in these moments, and by no means am I perfect in these moments, but you're able to generate good habits when you have the right way of like going about it and you have a process. And I'm extremely fortunate that I have a coach and a staff and teammates that allow me to have those ugly plays during the year and figure out my game. And I think right now it's like paid off, to be honest. Just like I understand the level of like physicality that I have to do in order to be good. And can you guys hear me? Because all that's out there. Yeah, so like I said, I'm just extremely fortunate that I have a coach that allowed me to like go through that process of like figuring out what I'm good at and just like what I need to do in order to be successful. So that's kind of how I view that process.
Tim in the front.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. You're still a young guy. I mean, 40 in a finals game to go up 3-2. What sort of a statement do you think this type of performance makes for you?
My answer is going to suck because it's kind of going to negate your question, but it's something more that I'll like look back on later on than like worry about what kind of statement it makes. I think the only statement we have right now is we're up 3-2 and we still have to go earn another win. But it'll be cool to look back on later on, and hopefully somewhere down the line I'll have like a more fun answer for you.
Was there a point tonight where you felt like you had it cooking, like you felt like you could take control of this game?
I wouldn't say take control. I'm just out there being aggressive, and like I said, I have a staff and teammates that allow me to do that and like figure out my game and just figure out spots where I can try and be dynamic. And a lot of that is just me trying to pick my spots and do what I can in order to win the game. And not every game's going to be 40 or 25. It's just kind of like doing whatever it takes to win the game.
Joe front.
Joe Masato, the Oklahoman. Dub, what did you think of the fans tonight and just the energy they gave you guys?
Typical night for us. Very loud, extremely loud. It feels like the court is shaking when we're here. They give us that boost we need. Felt like they were standing the whole entire game. They're into the game, which is rare for a crowd. I think Indies was that way too, so it's been really two really cool atmospheres to be in, but it's just so loud here. It's like deafening. Like I remember I was trying to yell at coverage to Lou before the play get in, and we're like 2 feet away and we can't hear each other. So it's definitely a special thing to be a part of Oklahoma and just like the team and how well like the fans embrace us. Like for them to be outside the gate at 2-3 a.m. and greet us and be excited is super dope. It's special, and it's something that we're definitely playing for, and we always have in the back of our mind just like how lucky we are and I am to be here. So it's a dope atmosphere.
Logan standing on the right.
Logan Murdoch of The Ringer. Chet had talked about how important it was to give you your flowers, and Shay also had a similar sentiment when asked about your game. A lot of it has been made about this team chemistry and how important it is to you guys. How does that team chemistry empower you to be great, and how did that help out tonight?
Yeah, like I said, I'm just blessed to be in a situation where everybody wants everybody to succeed. It's such a rare thing. I think it's even more rare that we're playing like the Pacers, who just looking on the outside are kind of that way too. Like you see how close knit they are. But yeah, I'm just in a really, really good situation. It's allowed me to grow as a player at a more rapid rate because I'm not worried about like what if I fail. I have guys that I know are going to pick me up when I fall short, and I try and do the same thing for them. So I think our team chemistry has got us here. It's something that's kept us strong, and yeah, it's just a fortunate situation that I get to be in.
Second row on the right.
Myron Patton, OKC Sports Radio. You shot well from the field, 14 of 25, but you got 12 free throws. And that's something I know the last couple of seasons you talked a lot about trying to get more free throws. Is that what that playing with force you think got you tonight?
I think the playing with force, yes, it puts pressure on officials to make a call. But at the same time, like halfway through the year, this was part of like me and Mark like just talking about like what it's going to take, and just like while I was like figuring out my game, a lot of it was not looking for a foul and just being able to finish through contact. And from there, if you finish through contact and make the shot, then the foul, you don't really need the foul. And that's kind of like the way I've been like approaching it, is just being aggressive and getting in the rim and just playing through a lot of the contact. And then if it's a foul, not if it is a foul, then great. But just the kind of force that I play with on a daily basis is I think what gets me to the line. And some nights I won't go to the line and I still got to finish.
And just
Again on the right.
athletic, Jalen, there's only been 8 other players, 24 or younger, in the NBA Finals that have scored 40 points. I just wanted your reaction to that.
We won the game, so that was cool. I won't really have much of a reaction until we, handle business. But like I said, somewhere down the line, it'll be, you ask me the question again, and I'll have a better answer for you.
Right here in the front.
Michael Martin, Let's Talk Thunder, Dub over here. In Game 4, you guys only make 3 threes as a team. Tonight, you have 4 different guys, including yourself, who make 3 threes at least. How important was that spacing from guys like Wiggs, Kaysen, and Lou in terms of open up driving lanes for yourself and Shea?
We just have special players that are on the other end or on our team. So when they're hitting shots, it obviously opens up, another realm for us. And even when they don't hit shots, it's just about like them being aggressive, and they've done a good job all year, like playing that spot and being ready to make plays and stuff like that. So obviously, like the threes are nice, but just them being out there, being aggressive, playing on the catch, doing that sort of thing just opens up a lot for me and two. And like I said, it's guys that like Wiggs' role is very, very difficult to like sometimes not play to play and then come in and make shots and make big plays and be solid defense. Like there's a lot that goes into that. Queso's the same way, like to not shoot well and then come in and make big shots over and over again tonight. Like it's something that goes under the radar, but they're special players that are ready for the moment, and it just adds more and more space to what we're trying to do.
Third row on the right.
Joseph Pavone, clutch points. Jalen had an impressive night altogether, but that third quarter in particular, you were able to really go off the way you did. I'm wondering what that moment is like. Is it quiet in your head when you're going off like that? Is it you hyped up? Like what's that moment like when you're just cooking like that and able to put up points in a hurry the way you did in that third quarter?
Honestly, it feels so much different than a regular season game. Like I didn't even like really notice that I had it going. Like I'm just playing so hard that like everything else in the game seems like second to what's going on, and that's how it feels. So I wouldn't even say like I was in like a flow state. Like I was just kind of like absorbed in the game so much that I'm not really thinking about how many points I have or how many times I've scored. Like I'm just into the game.
Vince, standing on the right.
Jalen, Vince Goodwill, Yahoo Sports. You talked about what last year's playoff run did for you guys, what the Denver series did for you guys. For you personally, could you foresee having this type of game at this type of stage, the biggest game of your career and the biggest game arguably of this franchise's since its inception?
I think first, like the biggest game thing I've gotten kind of numb to, because every time we play in the finals, it's the biggest game of your life. You know what I mean? So I think that's given me a little more comfort in just like playing hard and playing aggressive. I think I just understand the opportunity that we have, and I just try and play as hard as I can, and then whatever happens after that is where the chips fall. But I'd be lying if I said I could imagine doing what I did tonight, but I definitely could have seen myself here a long time ago. I just didn't think it would happen this fast, and I didn't think it would be with a group of guys that, I truly am like grateful to be around. So,
Last two on the right side.
Jada, Valencia King, Real Talk Sports, appreciate your time. You mentioned the things that Kaysen and Aaron do that kind of go underrated, but what about the character that they bring to this team? What's something that won't show up on the stat sheet that the fans maybe don't see?
I mean, Queso picks up 94 feet the whole game. That in itself is a lot. I think another thing that goes under the radar before I talk about Wiggs is if you go back and look at these guys at college, they're not doing some of the stuff that they get asked to do here on a nightly basis. So for them to be able to change their game, this is Queso's second year. For him to be able to change his game into something that we need takes a lot of maturity. And it's the same thing with Wiggs. Like I said, to not play and then come in and have to make shots right away, that's a hard task, and it's something that he's gotten really good at. And it makes him such a special basketball player. And then there's I'm not gonna go through the whole team, but like that's just like the culture of our team. Like everybody's ready to do whatever it takes to win, and we have a very mature group in regards to like knowing what to do and knowing when to plug in. And I think everybody's really selfless. Like everybody's willing to kind of plug away at something for the better of the team. So it just kind of trickles down from everybody.
Last one, next row back.
Kalico, the Athletic, to see the pressure from Indiana's ball up front, up high up the court, how important is it for people like Isaiah Hartenstein to set those screens to give you guys that ample amount of runway down the court?
Yeah, I bet Zay is probably tired of screening for me. He's been doing a lot this year. Yeah, it's just a good like pressure release. He does a good job of not getting illegals too on it, but just over the course of the game, like, I mean, honestly, you got to tip your hat to the Indiana for continuing to press, and doing that in itself is a lot. So anytime you can kind of have like a pressure release for it, it just opens up space. It helps you get up the court. It's not like we don't have like a reinvent the wheel on it. It's just kind of like that's what's needed, and he does a good job of setting it. Chet, the same thing. Some of the guards sometimes. Just kind of like who's in it, just understanding what we're trying to get done on the offense end.
Thank you, Jalen.
Yep.